What's up guys, TheDevildogGamer here, and we are playing some Dying Light 2, and I gotta say, this is my favorite game so far of 2022. Now, I was a huge fan of the first Dying Light, had a lot of fun with it, many hours, and you know, after all the delays and everything coming, I thought Dying Light 2 is probably gonna be kind of a doo-doo game. But no, I was wrong. It's a masterpiece, it is amazing, it is so much fun, and it totally lives up to the first Dying Light. Now, I know most people wait deep in the video to hide the cons and the things that they don't like about the game, but I'm going to go kind of right off the bat with it, because it almost got me to stop playing Dying Light 2 pretty much immediately. Now, the first, I would say, 2 to 3 hours of the game, you're on kind of a guided tutorial, and then these story missions. And I gotta say, every door you open,
Tell me more
every
about
person you talk to, every corner you turn is a cutscene. And we're not talking like 30-second long cutscenes. We're talking like 2 to 5 minute long cutscenes, sometimes even 10-minute long cutscenes. You go through a door, cutscene. You walk 5 feet, go through a door, cutscene. And that went on for like a good 2 to 3 hours. I think in the 2 to 3 hour span, I had maybe 30 minutes or less of playtime. And I almost quit because I was so tired of the cutscenes.
That's how you ended up in Waltz's program?
Oh, it was really bad. But after you got past that and you kind of got on your own and you actually got to play the game, it became amazingly awesome. Now with the cutscene issue though, it does come into what the original Dying Light 1 had a problem with. The dialogue is dog turds. It's unengaging. You don't give a shit about it. You're like, what the hell are they talking about half the time? Those are my only real 2 complaints with it. That's it. That's all I got to really complain about. I mean, sure, there's a few bugs here and there, but overall, in the general aspect of the game, just the cutscene simulator at the start and the terrible dialogue, that's it. Everything else is absolutely awesome. The world itself is massive. The ability, you know, with your paraglider and things you can explore, the verticality of it is awesome. There's always buildings with something in it. They're not just showpieces that you can't really go in. Majority of the buildings have an interior of some sorts, whether it be 1 floor or 2. And there's always some way to get up a building. There's so much parkour. And the way you can parkour is awesome. Swinging around ropes to a monkey bar and then, you know, wall running after that. It's a lot of fun. And honestly, I could just run around the whole map and not do any combat and have a lot of fun. It reminds me of like Mirror's Edge, and that aspect on itself is just really awesome. The combat though has definitely kind of improved. There's a lot of different variations you can do when it comes to, you know, working out your skill tree and what moves you can do and counters, and I haven't even unlocked half of the stuff, but there already is a ton of things you can do, like running and kicking people off buildings, counters that you can, you know, vault off of people and smash their skulls onto the ground. There's bows and arrows, there's throwing knives, there's boomsticks, I'm sure there's guns, which I've heard plenty of people talking about how the guns are there, even though it's been so long there probably isn't any ammo, but they make a lot of hints in it to a story missions that somebody hid ammo somewhere in the city for guns. So I'm sure they're going to pop up or even be modded into the game, of course, because modders make everything better. The combat itself is awesome, the way you work and build up these weapons, and heck, you know, you'll have a weapon, you know, for maybe an hour, and then you find a better one that's not even a legendary, and, you know, it just has all these cool things to it. There's just so much variation with the combat and the items and the way you can build yourself up. And with the amount of content, you really have like an endless playground to kind of mess with your gear and your combat style. Now, when it comes to the night and day mechanic, I wouldn't say it's any crazier than Dying Light 1, but the way they work it out is really cool. Being able to go and explore certain areas, hot spots at night to get better gear, because, you know, all the virals are kind of outside and not in there, is a lot of fun. You'll find some really cool gear. There's always something in there, you know, to go for, and it kind of gives you something to do at night other than be like, all right, I'm going to cower in a safe zone and just chill out. There's a lot of variation of it. There's so much stuff to do in this game that it's not even funny. I mean, there's always a side quest. There's always an area to explore. There's always something. And sometimes I get hung up in the same block for like a half an hour just doing like menial little stuff and exploring certain little things. I haven't even touched half of the map or even a quarter of it because I'm just stuck in certain areas trying to find certain things, or be like, oh, there's an inhibitor somewhere over here, let me find it, and I dig around that for 20 minutes till I find it. There's always something to do with this game, and it's a lot of fun. Now, I haven't tried co-op, but I'm going to tell you, just by playing it, the co-op's already amazing. If you can go in with a friend and experience this, by God, it's going to make the game 10 times better. And I'm looking for applicants, by the way. The game itself, it just has so much to do, and there's so much cool stuff when it comes to the combat and the stories and exploring that having a friend would make this so much better to go through. So I highly suggest, if you're going to play it with a friend from the start. It's going to make it 1,000 times better, because if I'm playing it and I'm excited about co-op and wanting to do co-op, then you can only imagine what co-op's actually going to be like. But the story itself isn't too bad. Once you actually start getting through some stuff, I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything like that, but once you start getting through some missions and you start understanding the story more, and you get past kind of the cringy dialogue at some points, and the terrible animations that go with it, the story starts to open up, and you start kind of trying to figure out the long game. How's it going to end? Is this true? What do you think about that? You start guessing that there's going to be a twist or something like that. And it's not very predictable in a sense, but it is kind of keeps your mind open. It kind of gives you hints, and maybe, and it might just throw the hints completely out the window, and you'd be like, oh, damn, man. Things like that. So the story is a lot of fun. Minus the dialogue and the things like that. And so I'm liking the story a lot. Definitely wants to keep me going and kind of understanding. I wouldn't say it's one of the top 10 game stories in the world, but it's pretty good compared to the first one, and I'm definitely liking it. They didn't skimp, and, they definitely improved upon Dying Light 1 with it. Now the question is, do I see myself going for the full 500 hours or even 100 hours in this game? Probably not. I'll probably get 20, 30 hours into this game, and, that's your money's worth right there. And go for it. But the fact that this game gives you that much to do and, ability to keep playing it for those people who are absolute diehard fans just shows that they actually care. 90% of people, probably 99% of people aren't even going to get past 20 hours in the game. But the fact that they added so much in it to do for those that are super diehard fans just show how much they actually care about their fan base and their game in general. And I do like that. A lot of games kind of will skimp it with side quests and things like that. No, not Techland. They threw the whole book at this damn game, and you definitely can tell it's kind of a love letter to their hardcore fan base, not just the people that are playing it for the first time or the people who played Dying Light 1 and never touched it again. And I do like that. There's enough to do in this game to keep anybody occupied, and there really is just a lot of really cool shining gems in this game. Sure, it's buggy at times. Sure, there are problems here and there. There's things that you got to get through that you really don't like me with the cutscenes and things like that. But overall, this game is awesome. I highly suggest if you're someone waiting for a game to come out and you're bored, or like, hey, I want something to do with friends, or something to do to pass the time, definitely check this game out. It is a lot of fun. It's an improvement upon the first, and there's just a lot of really cool things in it that keep you occupied from the get-go and kind of want to keep you playing. And I definitely think everybody should check this out. If you're, someone that's looking for something, highly suggest this. Try it out. Dying Light 2 is an awesome game. They did great work on it. Probably the best game of 2022 so far. Still praying for Stalker. And, it's definitely worth the look. It's worth the time, and it's worth everybody's money. It really is one of those few games that actually is worth the dollar value that it's, sold at. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think of this game if you've played it. Do you like it? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Are you going to get it? Are you excited for it? Definitely want to know. So let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.